Hello, welcome to the show. This is Hack Hunter, where we review some of the best and worst tattoo artists that are in your cities. Now, guys, this episode we had a young gentleman write into us. It's going to be his 16th birthday soon. He's looking to have his parents sign for him to get his first tattoo, but he lives in a small town out in Kentucky and he needed our help. So all you guys that are a fan of American traditional work, you're going to want to stick around for this one. So we headed out there to Kentucky and found something kind of strange. Check this out. There's this whole row of tattoo shops along this one highway right here on 31W. Got all the tattoo shops on it, running all the way from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, all the way up to Fort Knox. A little strange, but we had to go to every single one of these to make sure we were finding the perfect artist for this kid. So we found him. Here he is. Enter Nick Hydo. You can find him working at Secret Lotus Tattoo. They're in a little town called Radcliff, Kentucky, right along that road we talked about. If you want to see his portfolio, he goes by the epic name of Raw Dog on Instagram, so go check it out for yourself. Always do your own research, but let me show you the highlights. Bam! Look at that. Just beautiful, big, clean, bold work. Now, that's Americana at the heart of it, guys. If you like this kind of style, if you want your work to be big, obvious, clean work that can be seen from a mile away, people can tell what it is, you want it to stand the test of time, you don't want it to shred up your skin too much by trying too many small details and things like that, Americana's for you. Now, it's not my favorite style, if I'm being candid. There's a lot of progression in the world of tattooing, and so I like to see the new styles of tattoos better than just revamping old ones. But Nick here does an amazing job of taking new school content, like these Pokemon here. He's got this evolution of this Pokemon. Bonus points if you know who this one is. I don't. But he did it in American traditional style, but he also revamped it. He made it really modern looking, and it's, again, great saturation, great line work, really good blending. And I saw that throughout a lot of his work. Here's some anime stuff. I know a lot of you guys are a fan of the anime. You want to find a great artist for this. Usually I don't find American traditional style artists that are doing anime, especially not this well. He really converted it to being in his style of tattooing, and he gave it this pop. Great color saturation, again, really important. And the main thing is that with his work, even though it's such heavily saturated, bright, vibrant work, I'm not seeing a ton of like welting and bruising, bleeding around the outer edge. And that's a lot of times you see that with artists that are overworking the skin when they're trying to saturate these colors too deeply. Here was a cool one I really dug. This is a Star Wars piece. Again, bonus points if you can tell me who that is. But look at how rich this black is. This is just really well done. This is not an edited photo. A lot of times when you see it and it's this dark and rich black, it's because artists are usually taking their photos with a circularly polarized lens, and it kind of creates this really heavy contrast that's not really natural. Whereas here, I can tell he's just great at saturating his colors, especially that black. It's going to stand the test of time for sure. And here's another example of what I was talking about, how he's got his application technique down, because this is a head tattoo, a very cool custom alligator piece for the head, but you're not seeing a lot of welting or bleeding around the edges here. Trust me when I say any tattoo artist that has tattooed a head knows it bleeds like a stuck pig, especially when you're trying to saturate that color. So when I see his skill so delicate like this, but he's getting that saturation in there without beating it all to hell, I definitely give him props. I can tell he absolutely knows what he's doing when it comes to application. And I saw it again and again in his portfolio. Here's a cool little triceratops on the head with these little carnivorous plants. I love it. One thing I might give him a little bit of hell about, and it's a really small gripe, so I don't want to give him too much hell, is when I zoom in here on his white, he's got a lot of great white work. He knows where to put it. It accents everything really well. But when I really zoom in, you can see the streak of individual needles there. So you can tell he's applying it with what we call a loose liner or a round shader, where the needle grouping is not so tightly together. And what that means is you can see individual scraggles, needle straggles in the lines. And that could just mean he needs to go a little bit deeper. Maybe he needs to have a little bit more ink on the tip of his needle set. There's a number of things that can cause it, a number of things that could fix it. It just depends on how you tattoo, what kind of machine you're using, and also the viscosity of your ink. I see this a lot with whites because white is a thicker pigment, and so a lot of times it doesn't flow into the skin as well and fill in those little stragglers. But overall, that's a pretty small gripe, especially when I'm looking at his portfolio. I see a lot of beautiful custom stuff here, again, on a neck. Necks get beat up very, very easily, but he did this beautiful piece here all the way up behind the ear. This is very, very delicate skin, so you got to know what you're doing. You got to be at the right depth the whole time. You got to get in, get out. And if an artist doesn't do that, you're going to know it as a client right away. You're going to see welting and bleeding galore, which we do not see here, obviously. Here's a piece which is kind of a beautiful custom piece. I like the way he designed this snake, very unique. And this honeydew color here is really hard to saturate. I don't know what it is about this sort of tone of green, but it's another one of those ones that's a bit of a nightmare for us, even on somebody with a pale skin tone like this. It's just one of those ones that can come out very patchy if you're not careful. cool little custom shark. This is the last one I'll show you guys, but got the harpoon through the head. Again, a really cool design piece. So when I'm talking about American traditional, that's what gets me going, is seeing custom design piece, seeing creativity, seeing an artist who can do something new with the old school style of doing it. And absolutely, Nick Hydo does that to a T. So you guys know what it is. He ends up on our approved list. But stick around. Anybody there lives in Kentucky, you're going to want to see part number 2 of this, because on that one strip of highway, there was quite a few artists you might want to avoid. All right, here we go.